Welcome everybody to Apex Racing TV and the ASRC World Sports Car Series at the Twin Ring Motegi in Japan. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Alex Simpson, and the safety car leading the drivers round on the pace lap. Got only a 9-car grid here, but I will read them out for you. Neil Andrews is on pole with Julian Ribolo alongside him. Ronald Moons is in third. And then fourth is Rennie Cornella in the Ferrari alongside Chris Wood, also Ferrari. Then the Ford of Martin Vosberg, Michael Blake, Kevin Furline and Martin Brandon starting at the back in his Ferrari. Alex, well, I'll tell you what, I'll bring you in a bit because we've just got pretty much coming to the last corner. Safety car is in. Lights are on. Green flag is out. And Neil Andrews getting a nice jump in his HPD LMP2 car.
Yeah, he actually checked up a little bit there, didn't he, as well? Hello, everyone. Good to be here at Motegi in the night, making it interesting. So, yes, I'm not sure quite what was going on with that start, but yeah, I had to check up. The GT3s are, sorry, the GT...
GTs.
The GT3s?
It's GTEs, isn't it?
Ease, yes, that's it.
Yeah. Well, we do have a 6-car field in the GTE, so hopefully we'll be able to get something. As we saw in Interlagos, it only takes couple of cars to make a very, very good racing team.
Yeah. As soon as I saw the Angry Bird eyes from the Ford, I realised it was GT
from the back.
So always helpful. But yeah, night race, Andrew, certainly a bit different. Sorry to be a little bit late to the party on this one. Yeah, we had a team meeting just before, ran a bit late. But yeah, I mean, night race, cold track, 19 degrees ambient temperature as well. So. You know, it's going to be absolutely as cold as it can get out there. A little bit of wind cover and very humid though.
Yeah, I'm sure. I do think the GT3s are going to GTEs are going to provide all of our entertainment tonight. And Rennie Cornella, Chris Wood, Martin Vosberg, we've seen how those guys are very, very strong and quite evenly matched as well. So. Exactly what we can do. Chris Wood, of course, we see him quite often here on Apex Racing TV, racing the Club 73 Sportscar Championship, and did last night as well. Here, Optima. Kettle of fish is this one, Alex, the Ferrari 488. A fantastic car and one of the best iRacing's ever produced, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Really enjoyed doing that at Le Mans. So, going to be interested to... you know, to see what they do with the new LMP1 cars as well. So the Ford also very good. The latest cars they seem to be banging out, getting better and better and better.
I'm going to go on board with Chris Wood and Alex. If you could take us round Twin Ring Motegi. I know we didn't manage to really cover anything about the circuit before the race.
Yeah, I'm sure I can.
You've
do
of course
that.
Driven here in the World Championship Series.
Yep. Well, we're actually coming out of. Turn 2 now, heading down the back straight in towards 3. Tricky sort of 90-degree right-hander here. Important to use all the track on the way in, all the curbing at the apex as well. So much lap time available there. Through this fast sweeping right-hander, flat out, no issues here, and then into the S's. A lot of camber on the inside. Got to get that car hooked up on the curb. It helps pull the car around and gets the best line through the right-hander. And actually just got a little bit too much of the camber there and pulled him out towards the left. This horrible left-hander cambered on the way in as well and has a habit of just getting the rear a little bit light, so you have to be careful on the brakes there. And then to the slowest corner on the circuit. Absolutely dreadful hairpin when you're trying to get the car slowed down and you're in a battle. So easy to lock up there and run a little bit wide, but if you nail it, you don't have to get a good feeling. Feel like you can get a move done. Downhill braking for the next 90 right, also very tricky. Quite bumpy on the way into the corner as well, especially if you take a little bit too much of the curb. And through the sweep-in left-hander, and then you've got the chicane to finish the lap off. Adverse camber pulls you out, so it's very easy to miss the apex on that final part there. Yeah, relatively good lap for Wood. I'll just stay on board with him as we go into to turn 1 as well. Double right-hander. Sort of hit the first apex, let it drift out wide, catch the second on the exit, and then hard down the straight. And we're coming into yeah, what should be turn 2, but I think it's classed as turn 3. Kill the cones as always, has to be done. And yeah, that is a lap around Motegi in the night.
Very much, Alex. in the old club series. I did race here in the night time as well. It's tricky, but it's pretty enjoyable. I think Motegi gets a little bit of a bad rap in terms of some people just don't seem to think it's exciting, but I'm of the other opinion. I think it's a nice layout.
I think the layout's great and it's nice to drive. I think the biggest problem with Motegi is it's so short. So as soon as you get something high powered there, it becomes very, very difficult to overtake because the draft really doesn't kick in. You're always constantly accelerating.
Yeah.
So
straights aren't that long, are they? Even at the back of the circuit.
You know, and really the draft really kicks in once you're into top gear kind of thing, you know, because the cars aren't pulling quite so much. Then the aero makes a big difference on the drag kind of thing. So it can be very, very tough to get by. And I mean, I know personally that I've sort of drove this circuit and just gone, well, I know I'm not the quickest. I got a good qualifier in, but I knew that if I didn't make any mistakes, they'd find it near enough impossible to get by. And you know,
yeah.
It was true enough. I think in the end,
Julian Ribelot, thought he was going to have a go for the lead. Alex, sorry to interrupt.
I had a look. I think in the end, it took Kazuki to have a bit of a rash dive bomb attempt to try and get something done, and you know, just ended up in a big pile of mess. So that's.
Around the outside he goes. Ribelot.
Much better exit there, didn't he, as well? And will again once more. Surely have the opportunity, or have the inside line going into the S's. Be able to take it. He'll also have the camber on that inside as well, so carry a bit more extra speed. That's
Andrews
good.
Around the outside.
Yeah, that's good
nice.
around there. Good defence. Still got a lot of work to do. Still on the outside here. Different aero packages being run here. Car, Ribero's car. So much quicker. Straight line. Just physically see him pulling away there.
We'll be able to see what Andrews can do here then. Ribelot into the lead. Andrews qualified a second and one and a third seconds faster than Julian Ribelot. So Andrews needs to really that pace up back to somewhere near where his qualifying effort was, because Julian Ribelot, the Frenchman, come out and absolutely stormed the first few laps of this race. It's a 1 hour race here. And,
was he just using his quali set? I mean, his race set to quali though.
Yeah, it could be, because I mean, it's not really about the qualifying in a 3-car field. Let's face it.
No, exactly.
If we were at Monaco, we'd have something to say about that, but we're not. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, 0.4 of a second. Good battle going on there. Rene Cornella is 1 second ahead of Chris Wood, and the Ford's not really looking that fast out there at the minute, Alex. The Ferrari's very good in the tight and twisty stuff.
Yeah, this got
a lot of that here.
Yeah, let's head back and see what these guys are doing. So yeah, Wood looking good, but those guys are pulling away. Fords are 11 seconds back now. So
that's Vossenberg, who I think Interlagos, possibly the following race, was right there fighting for the win.
Yeah. Seems to be struggling. A bit of rear damage. Bit of damage on the wing there. Could be. Was there an accident? Did we miss an accident or something like that?
I wonder if Fairline just nerfed him a bit. The rear. That might be the reason why. Michael Blake's 5 seconds behind them, and Martin Brandon is another sort of 8 seconds behind in the Ferrari.
I have to say, Kevin's done an awesome job on the on sort of the lighting of the car that you get there as well. Just really complements his livery that he's got on. Because of course you can change that. You can do it on the Ferraris as well, can't you? But it's just not the same effect. You know, it doesn't pop quite the same as the Ford does.
Yep. Change the lighting at the back, can you?
Yeah, exactly. If you I don't know if you've got the graphics to look at it, but yeah, it looks absolutely awesome.
It's alright, I'll accept that. Andrews and Ribelot then continuing their battle. Andrews, much quicker through the corners as you mentioned, but Ribelot has that straight line speed. Wonder if you can get maybe a speed comparison at the end of the next straight as we go on to it. Go on to the back straight here.
Yeah, this is probably one of the quickest parts of the circuit actually, so that's good one to do it.
Oh yeah, not the back straight, but yeah, the one heading to the exit section. There's a few corners that are very similar in appearance, especially from the trackside camera here.
Yeah, the down going into the 90 right, coming up. That's probably the bit where they hit max speed. So good to see. Right now, there's nothing between them, even with the sort of little bit of draft helping.
Andrews needs to absolutely nail the exits. Didn't quite. Rebelo got away very nicely from that slow corner. What have we got on the speed traps?
Having a look. Honestly, there's a couple of Ks in it now that Andrews is in the draft. It's 2K faster, so clearly a little bit more trimmed out for Rebelo there.
He'll find it easier to stay with him, though, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Being good in the corners, it's going to help him to... and the slipstream's just going to drag him along.
Ronald Moon's
close enough for a look, though.
Really struggling. Nowhere near on pace. I'm not quite sure how he's this far off.
He normally drives... Didn't he used to drive the Ford?
Don't know.
I think he might have switched to the HPD, possibly this race meeting. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I don't think he's always been in this category. So, yeah, he's only 8 seconds, 10 seconds or so ahead of the Ferraris.
And Adam Barth appears.
Good evening, chaps.
Evening.
Winner in the Ford in the commentary box with us tonight.
Oh, there you go. That is true. I was watching that back, and the racing was absolutely brilliant in the Kia. Yeah, it looked like a crazy race for you to watch. My race was quite boring compared to that.
Good battle for the lead, though, in the HPDs, I must admit. Coming to see that. Rebelo and Neil Andrews.
The second race last night was a lot more interesting for me than the first one was, anyway.
Even though you won.
Some good battling going on. Hey, well, it was. I was on my own for the entire race. After turn 1 and turn 2, that was the last I saw of any of the cars. They all crashed. Rebelo, though, he managed to get past Andrews, Adam, and we've deduced that he's got a bit more straight line speed, but Andrews much better in the corners. So it's now the draft's really allowing Andrews to just stay with Rebelo and just kind of lurk there. But it'll be interesting to see if he can get anything done later on, or even now maybe. Look at that, it's right there. Oh, he's having a look. Oh, he's surprised that he kind of backed out of that, Alex.
I think he wants to, it would have been late on the brake move, wouldn't it? So he just wants to keep it clean at this point. Still early in the race, so. But it definitely feels like it looks like he's got his rhythm that he had in quali there now. Car's settled down a little bit. So, yeah, I expect he's going to try and put a move in at some point.
Chris Wood is still just a second and a bit behind Rene Cornella. Cornella has been pretty good this season. Wood, seen him a few times. We were just mentioning, Adam, that the pace of the Ford's just not there at the moment at all. Well over 10 seconds behind already.
Which is interesting compared to what we were seeing last night in the TSRC race, wasn't it?
Yeah, correct. And in the previous rounds of this championship.
Ford looked pretty much on pace with the Ferrari. I must say, I do like Marcin Vosberg's bright purple glow to his Ford GT. I probably haven't got the same paints as what you're seeing on the broadcast, but yeah, that's looking pretty good actually. But yeah, he's currently leading the Fords. Kevin Verline in second, and then Michael Blake, series regular, in third in the Fords. Remember that
there's a series admin, Michael Blake as well. He's a blooming admin on this.
Well, he's in on the podium position at the moment.
It's the same category, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the GC is in the category. Okay, yeah, he's in that case he's fifth in class. I was saying before the broadcast, I might as well say it now because there's a 9-car grid. I wonder if it's worth whether it's worth us all driving in the next meeting, see if we can get all the Michael Blake and see if he'll let us compete. I thought you were going to say it's time to see the cars that started inside the top 10 that are going to finish there.
Oh, I could say, well, we could do that.
Oh, Neil Andrews has got the lead.
Now, where's that happened? That has happened. Oh, wow, it's a move around the outside at the S's. What a great passing move that was. And Alex, that was absolutely fantastic.
Yep, just going to bring that back up on a replay. You can see got a good run out of the turn 3. Use the draft.
Who says you need a massive grid to make a good race? That was a brilliant move.
Yeah, and just use that extra downforce that he's got, didn't he? Just around there. Yeah, brilliant move.
Like I say, I think judging by the qualifying times, he should pull away, but as we've seen before, Adam, if you've got a nice trimmed out car in the race, kind of negates that disadvantage from qualifying.
Similar to something we saw in the Club 73 race yesterday. If you get to hang with the slipstream, then it's pretty difficult to get dropped, especially with the HPDs and the amount of downforce that they've got. So, yeah, Andrews and Ribolo both doing pretty well at the moment. They are 33 seconds ahead of the rest. I remember a MotoGP race at Laguna Seca a long time ago, and I think it was Rossi versus Stoner, and those two together were just so quick that they were able to build up an advantage similar to that Andrews and Ribolo have over Ronald Moons at the moment. So the drivers at the top of their game at the moment. 39.1 on the last lap for Neil Andrews. That was 7/10 of a second quicker than Ribolo in second, and is it just me, or does it look like Andrews is starting to edge away a little bit? The gap up to 8/10.
Does indeed. He's making that higher downforce setup work very nicely for him. Leading Julian Ribolo. Ronald Moons in P3. Then the Ferrari battle. Cornella and Wood at 1.6 seconds. Frustrating for Wood, Alex. He's just got... Excuse me, it's just maybe a quarter of a second off, starting to get some slipstream.
Yeah, very, very close. But I mean, I'm keeping an eye on his laps. He definitely is coming back at him. So I think this is going to be a race that's going to go on for a little while.
The Fords are pretty close together as well. Kevin Fairline dropping into the clutches of Michael Blake. Blake did a 46.2 on the last lap and 47.7 for Fairline.
Kevin Furlong, the only driver on the grid to gain a position from where he started.
Yeah, and the only driver, and thus Michael Blake the only one to lose a position. The funny thing is, we've had a few lead changes, and yeah, everyone's still pretty much back where they started. I think you're right, Alex. Now I can see the purple on the back of Kevin's car.
Yeah, that's very nice actually.
Looks good.
Yeah, it glows just spot on, that is.
You're seeing a Haas livery on that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Got a similar purple glow on the back of Michael Blake's car.
Yeah,
I
have to say I'm seeing a little different on that one.
Yellow on that one?
Yeah, so yellow and...
I guess customisable, I reckon.
Yeah.
Oh, he's having a look at the inside, Blake. Guy's not to bother at the moment.
Again, it sort of reflects what the livery is underneath it as well, you know, so it heightens the colour scheme.
It's the Sim Auto car, and he's got a fantastic run here. Bottom end of the circuit, he's going to have a look down into the 90-degree right-hander, which Alex said it's such tricky braking as it is, and this final section, which for years I never really understood, and then learned to drive it properly, and went, all right, yeah, that's it. Just got that final sector. You've got to really compromise the first part of that chicane, Alex, haven't you, to get any sort of decent exit.
Yeah, that's it, really. It isn't about the first part, it's all about the second part. To carry the speed in there, so...
Leaders are coming to lap the Fords, by the way. Any minute now.
I think the first time I ever drove this track was on a MotoGP game. Back in the...
Gran Turismo for me, I think. Gran Turismo 4.
Considerable gap now as well, isn't there? So
here comes Michael Blake.
Blake side by side with Fairline. Fairline lets him go. I think that's the wrong car he's trying to let go there.
Yeah.
Unless he got to slow down. If he got to slow down, fair enough. But he's just moving out of the way for everyone.
Does it? Taking the blue flags a little too literally there.
Blue flag. 1.3 seconds with the Ferraris.
lost a lot of time there as well. He's now, as Michael Blake lets him through, 2.5 seconds behind. Michael Blake, Kevin Furline.
Very big gap to have been made up just by letting one driver through, really. Inside goes Ribolo. 2 seconds behind now as well. Neil Andrews on his merry way. We've not had any retirements so far, which is good. I don't expect them to be all crashing into each other, to be honest, but yeah, no, everyone's still in the race, Alex, which is good to see.
Yeah, we don't want people retiring, do we, this early on? That'll be
no, sometimes we want people retiring to make it interesting, but not this time, really, no. Ronald Moons will want some people to retire, I reckon. In third place, but he's 40 seconds behind. Really doesn't have quite the handle on that HPD. Wonder if he's just being a bit cautious. It might be that he doesn't have a lot of experience in the car. I think he did used to drive the Ford, didn't he, Adam, from memory?
I think he did, yeah, before the old Ford, the Ford GT2 car which we had at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was definitely in that class.
Doesn't look like he's going along too badly, actually, when you go on board with him. So I don't know where really he's losing all that time. He seems to be going quite well.
Yeah, 4 seconds a lap at the minute.
If it's just a little bit of commitment, quite have. Maybe it's the baseline set or something.
2 more race meetings to go after here today. We have Phillip Island. That'll be on the 13th of November in Australia, and then we head to Monza, the final race meeting of the season, on the 11th of December for the ASRC.
Yeah. Hopefully some more drivers will turn up for those ones. I will give out the series information once again if anybody wants to get involved. Have a look. It's asrconline.com. You can join the ASRC, you can join the World Sports Car Series. Yeah, come and have a play. Why not, really? Because it was a fairly decently populated series at the start of the season, Alex, and I don't really understand why numbers have dropped off, but they have. The racing's been pretty good, so I don't see sportsmanship being an issue.
No, and with the production of the GTEs, I was quite surprised as well. But we didn't see a bit of a boost there. Just the way it goes sometimes, isn't it?
That was the plan, wasn't it? I think originally boost the series numbers with the new cars. Chris Wood could do with the boost, couldn't he? Another second, maybe, Adam. 1.7 seconds behind. Might have increased now, actually. Like Cornella's having a good lap.
Cornella, yeah, did a 45.4 in that last lap. We'll wait and see what he does this time. He's just heading into the right-hander at the end of the back straight, 90-degree right. Been a few overtakes attempted there in Formula Renault when we were here earlier on in the season, and the BSRTC as well. Sometimes they come off, sometimes they don't. But yeah, we're coming through the final corner now. We'll see what Rene Cornella does this time as he comes over the timing line. There it is, adjacent to the front straight on the oval, which is just to the right. Cornella does a 45.1, 45.6 for Chris Wood, so another half a second getting taken out there. Oh, added to the gap between Cornella and Chris Wood, the two Ferraris. That now stands at 2 seconds.
Alex, when you drive at night in these conditions, is there anything in particular that you do to make it a bit easier for yourself?
I can't really say that I've done much night driving on the road, to be honest. Just something I've never really done, so I can't answer your question. So I wouldn't know where to start. Just a lot more practice, I think.
Well, hopefully the next time us three do Le Mans, we'll have a day to night transition.
I'm hoping so. It'd be fantastic.
Which, if the LMP1s are around by then, would that be our car of choice?
Oh, who knows?
Maybe too fast for me. I don't know. We'll have to see. Might still be the Ferrari for me. I do enjoy driving that car. But there's the LMP1 cars. And I'm still holding out hope for a new LMP2 or an LMP3 car to go with it as well. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. I think it definitely help the racing.
Formula E car at some point, maybe.
Tough on that, isn't it? Because you'd have to probably have the tracks with that, wouldn't you?
Hmm.
And those street tracks would be an absolute nightmare to laser scan.
I think that's the problem. That's why we don't have them. I think there has been discussions with Formula E and iRacing, but
that was probably the hang-up, wasn't it?
I think the point is the tracks. Yeah, is they can't produce the tracks fast enough at the sort of at the detail and that, and of course they go to somewhere.
Long Beach, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. They go somewhere, and then the next season they're not there, so it's kind of like.
That's true, actually. I don't know if they've really driven in the same places that many times, have they?
No, imagine if they'd scanned that London circuit with the camber on the front straight. BSRTC race would have been interesting there.
A BSRTC on the street circuit would be absolute mayhem. I think we haven't had mayhem tonight, it's safe to say, but it's probably a good thing because, like I say, we want most of the drivers to finish. About 25 minutes gone here. Chris Wood makes a mistake, loses about another half a second on Rene Cornella. Now 2.6 seconds clear and looks to be pulling away at quite a nice rate, really. Cornella, the Benelux driver.
Saw a decent incident point regulation for this series as well when we first started covering it. About once a driver reaches 8 incident points, they start losing championship points after that. We saw that replicated in other series as well over time.
Yeah, it's one of the best systems I think we've seen. It's a shame why we don't really see it in use with a larger field, because it would put off people from stupid driving. I think, Adam, that's what you want essentially. You don't want an incident point system which is going to kind of just, I don't know, allow the drivers to get away with murder.
Or even some of the drivers that end up getting disqualified during races would be happy for a system like that. In other series like the BSRTC, where the incident limit is 11, that can sometimes not be enough. You get hit 3 times on the opening lap, sometimes nothing to do with you, and you end up getting DQ'd.
But there is the argument that you shouldn't be racking up 11 incidents in a 15-minute race, no matter what the car is. Which,
unless it aims at the back, in that case you kept 3 in one meeting.
But this is coming from a person who's been disqualified several times in the BSRTC, and you know, and I have been, and I still think 11 incidents is the right amount. Alex, what do you think? From someone who gets an average of about 1 incident a race, what's your take on it?
I'm sorry, I was mildly distracted off air there, so do apologies, guys.
Dear. Get off those adult websites.
Well, you know, what can I say?
Yeah. No, go on, incident points, Alex. 11 in the BSRTC. Some people say it's not enough. I think it's perfect, because I don't think you should be getting 11 incidents in that amount of time.
I actually think it's right. It's only a short race after all, you know. That's that means you can't hit someone 3 times, you know. So I think that's about right.
Can't be hit 3 times either. But,
well, this is true.
But you shouldn't really be putting yourself almost in a position to be hit 3 times. I think. But.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's as much that way round, you know.
But like I said, disqualifications and hot dinners are sort of similar numbers for me and Adam. So I think that's kind of what I think. Yeah, we're not really maybe the right people to be talking about this. I don't know. Maybe we are.
Sometimes I don't think we can help it. I genuinely think that for some reason we seem to attract trouble.
Well, I'll be honest, my disqualifications come from off tracks. They don't come from hitting people usually. I'm usually quite good at not hitting people, but yeah, I do go off the track a fair bit, and I think that's my issue. That's always been my issue with iRacing, really, is little stupid off tracks. I think yours might be contact more than off tracks. I think
mine are usually 1Xs that end up turning into 2Xs in the end, or maybe even 4Xs
when someone else crashes. Yeah.
Especially at Imola, earlier in the season. That seemed to be the standout one for me in terms of loads of incidents.
He just kept getting hit left, right, and centre though, so which didn't help.
Not too good on the hot tracks, I must say. That Imola one was a hot one.
Alex, we had it was actually bad weather conditions for the Kia Optima. I think that one. Alex, we had the Japanese Grand Prix obviously at the weekend. Do you think there's any scope for Motegi to host a Grand Prix ever?
No, I can't see it honestly. I just feel, having drove F1 cars around here, I don't think it'd make for a good race. To be fair,
I think you're right.
Even the DRS zones, you can make the whole straight the DRS zone, and I think they're still going to struggle to get by.
Yeah, current regulations, I think certainly.
Ronald Moon's in and out. 16-second stop for the man who batted third in the HPD.
Appropriate name for the daytime conditions as well, the evening condition.
Second stop, he's away, so we'll wait and see what anyone else does. We'll see if anyone gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. We saw that in one of the races a few weeks ago on Apex Racing TV. I think it was the Britmastech series. I remember seeing someone speeding into the pit lane there. But,
of course, just another thing as well. Pit lanes here, it's quite a tricky one here actually. Alex, do you remember the race? The race that we had here, the IndyCar back in the day. There's a big crash in the opening lap.
Oh, I do actually. Yeah, it's not.
Easy before the green.
Yeah, it was before the green. Yeah, it's not easy to get through there sometimes, isn't it? That final chicane when you're all stacked up.
Oh, the worst thing was it was behind the safety car, and I got absolutely taken out before even the green flag came out. So, I don't have happy memories of sort of that area around the pit lane entry. I don't really.
Did we ever try a rolling start on the BSRTC at this track?
I think we did, didn't we?
I think we did. I don't know if that ended too.
They went through a phase of rolling starts and then realised it was useless, and it didn't actually stop the crashes because somewhere like Spa, I remember they did Spa, but they did with endurance pits, didn't they? Which didn't work because the main straight was because the green flag was on the way to Eau Rouge, Alex, and when the cars had absolutely no grip on the opening lap, of course they all crashed at Eau Rouge.
I think, I'm trying to remember where else. I'm sure they've done a few. Did they do one at Monza as well?
Yeah, that's where Dan Blake crashed on the formation.
Oh dear.
I think that since 2015, when we did have the rolling starts, the grip of the Kia has improved on the opening lap.
I think the starts have been cleaner as well. I really do think it's improved the just having that extra little bit of grip. I mean, do you remember, Adam, that Suzuka race that we did where everybody got to turn 2 and crashed?
Do you remember that? Yeah, I do remember.
There were about 20 cars off the road.
If you go back to the old BSR TV channel and watch the very first few broadcasts that we do in the overcast conditions, it was pretty much on the verge of undrivable.
Oh yeah.
The overcast condition.
I mean, when I drove at Gilles Villeneuve in race 1 in the super overcast conditions, it was an absolute nightmare of the first lap. The right hand kink, it is a corner in the Kia before the uphill chicane at the back of the circuit. You just had to kind of gingerly just feather the car through there, otherwise you were absolutely going to slam into the outside wall. And I remember coming around that corner seeing Paul Smith upside down.
I think many of the Spa races we've been like, right, the leader goes into turn 1 and he's off and into the wall.
Daytona Road, Julian Janowski.
I think we may even have had that this year. The leader's flying off in the first corner.
Where was it that we did have a leader flying off sideways and all over the place the other week? I really remember. Might have even been Brands, where there was just somebody took the lead and then they got to Paddock and went sideways. They got to Graham Hill Bend and went sideways, and they got to Surtees and went sideways again. Maybe they finally bit the dust shortly after.
Definitely won't be having grip issues in any of these cars that we've got here.
No, we've got some cars that are are pretty well known for having nice balance. Alex, what's your favourite out of these three?
I do like the HPD, but I have to say I really enjoyed driving the Ferrari.
Fun to push that car, wasn't it? And,
yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really did enjoy it.
We drove it at Suzuka the week after, and
Simpson.
had a hell of a lot
really
of fun.
good.
We
Yeah,
had a hell of a lot of fun with that.
and that was with our Le Mans setup pretty much. That helped us get both a win each in the IMSA series.
Win each. Managed to pick up a top 5 as well after I spun off in the second race that we did.
Oh, I spun on the exit of the second Degner. Literally held the brake pedal, and
I saw
there's
that.
always one person that will end up flying into you, and then someone did.
Yep, I remember.
And then I thought it was okay, but yeah, once I got the car turned around, it wasn't.
We were close in qualifying, I seem to remember, though.
I think we might have started.
First and second?
Yeah, we started 1 and 2, I think. Yeah. I think I lost the place at the start of the race,
First
but
and
then
third or something. Yeah. But that was a hell of a lot of fun. Last few weeks have reminded me just how much I enjoy driving on iRacing, actually. And I don't really do enough of it. I was saying, Alex, that I think since 2014 I've started 35 races.
Really?
Official races.
Not much at all, is it?
No. And I really do need to get on it and make it part of my week again, like I used to do. Make it part of my nightly ritual almost.
I think it was after those IMSA races where we literally branched out into every single game that was on the Steam store after that for pretty much the entire summer.
I mean, I mostly blame the Steam sale. You are right. Let me see. Are we on our channel or iRacing Live tonight?
Just ours.
Right, well, I'm going to list I might list them all then. R-Factor 1, R-Factor 2, Automobilista, Euro Truck Simulator, Football Manager,
Dirt 4 briefly.
Dirt 4, Dirt Rally.
Yeah, Dirt Rally was the start of it.
F1 2016. There were a lot of
Football
things.
Manager, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of things. Adam got into the Premier League.
Does it how long? Yeah, that was the summer of fun, really.
Leaders in?
Into the pits,
Leader
and both
is
of them come in. Neil Andrews and Ribolo.
Now then, you would imagine the stops are going to be similar length here.
Well, I think as long as they get their pit stops right, this could be the race right here. Andrews, 16 seconds is the time by Moons. Impeccable stop by Ribolo. Sorry, Neil Andrews, 15.8 seconds stop. Ribolo away, 14.8. A second quicker, maybe putting on a little bit less fuel. We'll see if that pays it dividends in the end, and away they go. Neil Andrews leads, Ribolo second, and Ronald Moons third as Chris Wood comes in his Ferrari.
Well, that puts Ronald Moons back onto the lead lap. Chris Wood in. Pretty long pit lane here at Motegi, Alex. This driver seems to spend quite a long time trundling down.
Yeah, it's kind of a slow exit. You have to be careful because you can get a unsafe entry in there as well with the little sort of chicaney thing going on.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It won't beat Chris Jackson's entry to the pit lane in the V8 Supercar Series that we had at Bathurst.
Oh dear.
He went in far too quickly to the corner. You know that little stupid chicane thing that there is before the...
Quite some big curbs there as well.
Yeah, he went in far too quickly, got on the grass, and had the most pathetic head-on accident with the tyre wall you've ever seen. But it was like David Coulthard at Adelaide, but probably worse. He'd recover, I think, to finish about 5th or 6th, I think. But
David Coulthard definitely didn't.
No, no, he had less wheels than when he started. I think did DC? Dear me, Murray Walker went absolutely.
Oh, David Coulthard.
Yeah. Oh,
his last Grand Prix for Williams.
Or DC.
I think Alan Jones was commentating on that one as well.
Oh,
along with Murray, yeah.
Oh dear, Alan Jones. He would have had a field day about that one.
We won't go into accents for that one, I don't think.
Although I think David Coulthard won more races in his career than Alan Jones did. Coulthard won 13 Grand Prix, and Alan Jones took 12. Oh, that was close. But Alan Jones was the world champion, so of course that really usurps everything.
Was Alan Jones part of another Murrayism? I think it was Monaco in like 1980 or something, and he was like, "There's the Williams, famous for its reliability," and then it just blew up.
Goes bang straight away. Yeah. That's the ultimate commentator's curse, isn't it? It's like Alex and Frederick Rasmussen's engine.
Probably why he's not come back.
Yeah, because he knows Alex is going to be commentating every week, so he's never going to finish the race.
Well, Rasmussen is getting ready for the F1 Esports semi-finals, which are happening tomorrow.
Got to mention that, actually. Quite a few iRacing members participating. Alex, some pretty big names in that contest. It's going to be live on Sky Sports F1.
Yeah, it'd be good to see it on Sky when it getting a bit more coverage and things like that.
I'm watching. Yeah.
There's more and more of these events cropping up now, so it's starting to sort of take off.
Loads of sports stars you see these days are investing in esports as well. So
yeah, that's right. Actually,
we saw the FIFA World Championships were live on Sky as well in the summer.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that. Brings back memories of just how appalling I've started my FIFA 18 online career, I'm afraid.
I was walking to university with one of my friends today, and they told me that PSG have their own esports team in Rocket League.
Yes, I have heard about that. I think a lot of the football teams are starting to branch out into other esports, actually. You know really why that would be, Alex, in terms of...
Well, I don't really know why other ones,
Just literally part of the sport, the sporting club, I guess.
Yeah, I think the thing is there's money in esports now. It's like Audi have sponsored an esports team, haven't they? A first-person shooter team. Yeah, and that's because they get a lot of attention and a lot of exposure and stuff like that for what would be a reasonable return in sort of investment to them. So, like everything, isn't it? When there's there's millions of eyes on something, people are interested in sort of advertising with them.
Porsche were a big part of the Sim Expo as well this year. Well, I know they weren't the main sponsor of the event, but they definitely had a whole load of advertising elsewhere around the Nürburgring area.
Interesting how it is panning out, and
I think the Vegas E-Race has been the catalyst for this all to kick off, really, for the motorsport side of things.
Yeah, I think fair to say it opened people's eyes, I think, as to what was possible. Even though the event itself maybe could have been organised slightly better, I think, Alex, in general, like I say, it just showed people that it was a serious discipline, and not just something that's not just people sitting around playing computer games, really, which is what I think a lot of people have the perception of.
Yeah, I agree.
I still maintain
to the pits. Sorry, while that's going on.
Well, yeah.
I still maintain that sim racing is the closest esport to any activity that's being simulated currently.
Yeah, easily.
The FIFA World Champions aren't going around kicking footballs around, because otherwise Cristiano Ronaldo would be a FIFA World Champion. So, but in this game, in this sim, in this genre of esports, I think it's very, very true to life, especially with the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive and things like that are changing the way that we drive. Alex, that really does add the extra immersion needed to really be in the game.
Oh, it does. It is amazing. I'm certainly waiting for the new gen to come out, because like I say, for me, I still want the clarity, but the immersion is just second to none.
And the lead is coming down again, by the way, to 1.6 seconds between Neil Andrews and Julian Ribello. We've got about 15 minutes to go, and I've done the last few laps. Frenchman has been closing in at a rate of about 1 second a lap.
Yeah, 39.4 on the last lap by Julien Ribelow, 40.5 by Neil Andrews. So you can just see there 1.1 second difference, and yeah, the gap down to 1.7 seconds. Last few lap times by Ribelow as well. He's since he's come into the pits, he's done 39 at 39 dead and 39.4, as opposed to Andrews, who has been doing since his pit stop 40, 41 and a 40. So I wonder if Andrews is his usual thing to go to straight away, isn't it? I wonder if he's either saving fuel or maybe Ribelow is starting to turn up the heat at the closing stages. Ribelow did have a pretty quick pit stop, 14.8, a second quicker than Andrews. So I wonder what could be going on there, but we'll wait and see. We've got just a quarter of an hour to go. Cornell has been in his Ferrari. He's emerged ahead of Chris Wood. The gap now about 9 seconds between those two. Michael Blake coming in his Ford. That puts Martin Vosberg back into the lead. The only driver waiting to see coming to the pits is the car sat in last place, and that is Martin Brandon.
Yeah, I think I wonder if you can get to the end on one tank. I'd be very, very surprised. 70% fuel limit, so definitely not. But Brandon biding his time or what? He definitely hasn't come into the pits yet. So lap times have picked up though. He's now only about 2 seconds off of what the leaders are doing. But yeah, where do you see Alex esports, especially sim racing esports, going in the future? What's the ceiling for it? Because I think it could potentially be one of the best ones.
I'll be honest, I think I struggle to see it at the likes of your sort of League of Legends and things like that. But I do think it will be a big one. Then the biggest problem we have with sort of racing esport is once you step outside of, say, like the F1 and maybe like the NASCAR bubbles, where there are millions and millions.
Where's Martin Brandon going, by the way?
Martin Brandon.
Sorry, Alex. I'll come
he's
back to that in a second.
He's actually driving the wrong way around the circuit.
I think he got lost going into the pit lane.
I think that might be it. What's he done? He's
not sure.
I don't know where he's going.
Yeah, he did get lost.
Well, that is an issue.
Oh well. I mean, he was in last place.
Well, when it's night time and you've only got those little tin lanterns in front of you, it's pretty difficult to pick up the pit lane.
That is true. Alex,
those
back
cones
to your point,
well.
mate. Sorry about that.
Yeah. I think like when we step out of the F1 and the NASCAR bubbles, other series really struggle for a fan base. There's lots and lots of racing series out there, and to get millions and millions of viewers, even in real life, they struggle. So if they struggle, you have to wonder, how are we ever going to get to that level? You're trying to ask to capture an audience the same size of F1, when the real sport struggles to do that. And I think that's why the likes of League of Legends and Dota and things like that, they have, there's no real life counterpart to it, so that they have that kind of on their side. So it is going to be very difficult to get it, and it's going to have to take a bit of a marketing genius to figure out how they do it, because they're literally going to have to rival F1 at their own game, or NASCAR at their own game, with the marketing side of things, to get the fans to follow that and not think the end game is always to end up in an F1 car. Actually, it's to end up in racing in the simulator kind of thing. So people really get behind it. But what we do have is it's more accessible than F1 ever will be. If you can start to get people thinking, change that mindset. Well, it's like, I don't want to drive, Formula, or a Formula Renault 2.0, just say like that, or Formula 3 or something like that. I want to drive in a sim, in a competition that I can earn a few million quid a year kind of thing, and that's where they target, and that's their training goal, is to reach that point. then that's kind of when it changes. But right now, the mindset is very much like, you know, if you get an opportunity to drive in a real car in a real series, they take it. Yeah.
This lead battle's closing up, isn't it? 8 tenths of a second now, 7 tenths in fact. 38.9 on the last lap by Ribolo compared to Andrew's 39.5.
Such a, by the way, as well, the money involved in motorsport is just so astronomical as well.
I wonder what the
People can't even compete in lower series, you know.
Do we know what the format's going to be for tomorrow's semi-final?
I'm not sure.
Oh, no, it's going to be on F1 2017 now.
You could find out before the end of the broadcast. I think what Neil Andrews is about to find out as well is that Julien Ribolo still has that straight line speed that kept him in the lead for so long at the beginning of the race, Alex.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's just changed around, isn't it? Was their tyres changed for one and not the other? I don't know. The pit stop times were very, very similar, just a 1 second difference. So I'm quite surprised to see suddenly Andrews being hunted down.
Yeah, he was pulling away so easily, wasn't he, before the pit stop, that thought honestly this race was done and dusted, but like not giving up Julien Ribolo.
Taking place at the Gfinity Arena in London, October the 10th. The 40 qualifiers will now race head-to-head across 4 heats, taking place at two of Formula One's most historic tracks, Silverstone and Interlagos.
All heats? Surprised they didn't do 2 heats. Can't you have 22 drivers now?
It'll be 4 heats of 10 then, wouldn't it then?
Well, could you not have 20 drivers online or 22 drivers online these days? Am I right?
Probably doing it tend to be on the safe side, I guess. They don't want.
Maybe. Maybe they're just trying to ensure that the best people generally will come through to win. There won't be a lot of stupid crashes, which sort of stops the final maybe from being the best drivers, which is what they want, really, obviously, isn't it? Yeah, 4 lots of 10 could still work. I mean, we used to race with. Was it 12 that we used to race with, Alex, back in the day?
12, yeah.
12, so. It does work. 10's a good number. We had some of our best races with about 8 or 9 drivers, didn't we? So some awesome league racing. So
9 drivers here today.
Tonight. Yeah, and it's not been such a bad race. I mean, we've got a good battle for the lead. Half the time, that's all you need. As we saw in Interlagos. I mean, what a brilliant race that was.
8 minutes to go then. Less than 10 minutes to go here now in this race. Don't forget, we've got the Motegi Sportscar Series coming up later tonight. That's at, I think that's at Brands.
Oh, really? Yes, it is. Brands Hatch GP.
If we were there at the actual time at Brands Hatch, it'd be pitch black like this.
If we were there at the actual time at Brands Hatch, we wouldn't have to wake up in the middle of the night either. Quite nice, wouldn't it?
Especially
they did it English time, since it was over here. That's what we should have pitched. We should have pulled for, shouldn't we? I reckon that's going to be a great race as well. Rick Moteg's always provided some brilliant stuff, and the mixed class action really does mean that the races are close all the way to the end. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what those guys do around Brands Hatch. I'm not sure we've really covered a British race before, Alex. Have we in that series?
I don't think we have. No.
Maybe they put it in just for us. Who knows? I still haven't watched the race at Snetterton yet.
No.
Well, someone needs to sort that out.
I don't think I've even got the track.
I don't have the track.
I know my iRacing subscription renewal is coming up.
Oh, that's another thing. Yep, in about another week for me.
But I'm looking for the Black Friday deals.
I hope they're good ones this time as well. I know they weren't as good last year, were they, as what they had been. I once got 2 years for $100.
They need the business.
Absolutely snapped that one up. So, yeah, they really needed the business of my 35 races in 3 years. But here's
worth every penny.
Yeah. So, God, when I think about how much money I've spent actually for those few races, yeah, I've actually paid quite a lot to race my racing. Julian Rebelo
became a member on Christmas Day, if I'm correct.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, Alex. Yeah, we just had a conversation on Christmas Day, and it was like, you need to get on this iRacing. And then about two hours later, I was on, and I was like, right, what the hell do I do?
The people on Christmas Day?
I didn't even know. Oh yeah. Loads.
Probably trying out the new GTL rigs that they were getting for Christmas. There's a nice plug for Alex there.
Good plug there. That's well played.
I wonder if any SDK gaming stuff is getting ready to be put under the Christmas tree in a few months.
After my starts last night, I probably do need it. Although it's probably a good job I didn't get good starts last night, because I would have probably got crashed into. Excuse me, sorry, I apologise.
Your hiccups creeping in.
Yeah.
Focusing on this lead battle at the moment, there's not really anything else going on. We'll just stay with this. Everybody else is just separated apart now, so I don't expect there to be any changes.
5 minutes to go, half a second of the gap. We'll see what the lap times are like between these two then as they come over to start lap 34. Here is a twin ring Motegi. Neil Andrews comes across the line and does a 39.1, 39.2 this time for Ribolo. He's finally caught up to Andrews, probably in the dirty air now of the HPD, so this is where he's got to really show what he's made of to try and get this position.
He does have the speed, as we've seen, but is he going to be able to follow closely enough, Alex, to put himself in a position to have a go? Because I think that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems he's got there, hasn't he? But then he seems to be struggling to get that last little bit done.
Do you want to go on board and walk us through it, maybe, as he's chasing him down?
Let's do it.
Before you do, Martin Vosberg had a spin and a crash, but it looks like he's okay. He's carrying on in the lead of the not in the lead, in third place in the GT East.
Right, we are on board now. Let's just see where he's sort of gaining and where he's losing. He come up at it behind him at a pretty reasonable rate of knots, didn't he? The iRacing doesn't like the graphics of the see-through visor from the side. Struggling a little bit there to
wide visor.
Try and render that.
I will say just quickly as well that the HPD ARX we're driving here was driven in 5 seasons of the American Le Mans series as well, and there were still a few around when we went to the WEC in 2014. I think, Alex, there was still 1 or 2 about.
Yeah, I think there was. I don't know if it was exactly this one, because I think didn't they add some weight to it later on?
Maybe.
It become a bit heavier.
Very long service of one car, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Just testament to show how good it was, really.
So.
But then aero packages and things like aero cars really haven't changed much over the years. Like, you consider now, we're only now starting to see the F1 cars become quicker because they've just done that with the rules, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the cars back in the day were very, very good anyway, you know?
Oh, very quick. Very, very quick. And I think it's a lot of it's the rules slowing them down, isn't it? I mean, the LMP1 cars have started to be just as quick, if not quick, well, a lot quicker than the cars of the 90s, Group C, was it? But that's because of just the sheer amounts of downforce that they've got.
Yeah.
The others used to be a bit quicker in a straight line, didn't they? The old, like the old Silk Cut Jaguar and the amazing cars like that we used to have.
And I think they could be as quick as that if they weren't restricted. You know, they've got restrictions in place now. That's the thing.
They'd be faster than Formula 1 cars, mate. I think they had complete technical freedom, I think. But those cars are amazing in their own right, aren't they? Like the amounts of downforce they can create, and with such a quiet engine package as well, in terms of at least the Audi and the Porsche, just like absolute silent assassins, really.
Last lap, 1 lap to go.
What can Ribolo do then? He keeps getting within just a few tenths of a second.
Oh.
The look, but it's only really going to be a look, and it puts him slightly offline for the double apex left-hander, and he really needs to start doing something at the back of the circuit here. Needs to get super close. What can he do? He's got the straight line speed, but I think Andrews is just starting to show that pace, which put him on pole position.
It looks to me like Andrews' car is really good over the long run as well. That's why he was able to close back down and overtake. So
yeah, and Ribolo gained quite a lot in this second stint. Found it hard to get through, and exactly what Alex was talking about twin ring Motegi, how difficult it really is for passing. Andrews just has a couple of corners to go before he's going to take the victory.
Gap got up to 1.1 seconds in the end. He was nearly half a second quicker, Ribolo, on that last lap, but Neil Andrews looks like got the pace to do it. Clock is at 0 now, so this is going to be the final lap.
Then just a final chicane to go for Neil Andrews. He was on pole, led most of the way, had a really good fight with Julian Ribolo all the way. Neil Andrews wins here in the ASRC Sportscar Series. Excellent race at the front.
Set the fastest lap of the race on the last lap as well, Neil Andrews.
And the fireworks going off, and they're going for Rene Cornella as well. Takes the GTE win. Chris Wood coming through the final corner now. Going to take second place. He looks like he's happy with that. Look at that. And Vossenberg still got a few corners to go. Actually, Alex, that just shows just how the Ferrari dominated the Ford here.
yeah, smashed it.
I think Vossenberg might have literally smashed it, from what Adam was saying. I think he had a crash as well.
Not even close. I'm trying to get a shot of the fireworks, but can't seem to do it, fortunately.
Zoom out quite a bit, I think. Oh no, I can see them on the blimp. Yeah, I can see them getting launched. If you go to the blimp with Ribolo, you can see them going. Oh no, I've rewinded back. I can't see them anymore.
They're all but done now. Yeah, and they're finished. That's that.
I think all the cars have crossed the line.
You are nearly right. Michael Blake just coming across the line. There he goes.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Take fourth place. Okay then, take you through the finishing order here in the ASRC Sportscar Series. Neil Andrews takes the win by only 1.3 seconds. It was a very close race. Well fought. Both men were in the lead at certain points. Ronald Moons was third. Rene Cornella fourth. Chris Wood fifth. Sixth Martin Vossenberg. Seventh Michael Blake. Eighth Kevin Fernline. And ninth Martin Brandon. And Adam, everybody started in exactly the same place that they finished.
In the end, yeah. Well, cars started inside the top 10 to finish there. We had everyone. The safety car would have finished in the top 10 as well if they had done any laps.
Where's Stefan Slasher?
Yeah.
Where is he? But yeah, no, it was a good race. It's funny because you can look at that and you see a 9-car grid, Alex, and you sort of go, oh, maybe that wasn't such a good race. But the lead battle was really good.
It was all the way through. I mean, it ended really close. Just ebbed and flowed the whole race. For a while it quietened down during the pit stops and stuff like that. But actually, right at the end, it's a shame we didn't get the same with the GTE. Otherwise, we could have flicked back and forth between the two. Yep,
but Rene Cornella taking that one home and doing a pretty good job with it as well. All right, everybody, we need to. We're going to go off and get a little bit of rest because the Ricmatech Sports Car Series is coming up in about 4 hours and 20 minutes. So we'll be back for that when the action will come from the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit in England. All right, everybody, from Andrew Woodhouse, from Adam Bath, and from Alex Simpson, who provided the great camera footage as well tonight. It's goodbye from Apex Racing TV, and we'll see you in the early hours of the morning.